Hello, I'm Dr. Alan Weidner from Massage Chair Relief, and today is our monthly massage chair industry update for Wednesday, August 19th, 2026. Thank you so much for joining me. I used to do this bi-weekly, and I almost said bi-weekly at the beginning, but it's monthly now. And if you'd like to see previous episodes of our industry update, you can go ahead to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/massagechair, and you can watch any and all of our videos. We've got a lot of videos. I think we've got over 1,000 videos now since I first started recording videos for my business in 2009. We started this business in 2005 as a website, and I started as a bit of a side hustle, not a bit of a side hustle, but as a side hustle. I'm a chiropractor by trade, and though I consider myself a good technician and clinician, I was not a great builder of a chiropractic practice when I first got into chiropractic. And so eventually I needed to bring in a little extra income for the family. And I started the massage chair business as a website to try to increase little revenue, and it turned into something much better than we thought. 2005 was our first year. We started the website in June of 2005, and then in October we had our first sale. So we waited for about 6 months for us to get a sale, and I remember thinking, wow, if I could just sell one chair a month, that would help us with our mortgage payment, or a part of our mortgage payment. Well, that October sale turned into November and December sales, and in 2026 was our first full year, and we did better in our first full year than I had expected. And so I put the practice up for sale at the end of 2006, or the beginning of 2007, and I sold it in 2008 and immediately moved I left that space, but I was in the same strip mall, whatever you want to call it, shopping center, strip mall. And I moved the chairs that I had in my clinic and moved them over to this store. And that became our first store. And I was there from 2008 until about 2 months ago when we moved to a new location here in Utah. The first store was in a town called Taylorsville, and it was a small store. It used to be a smoke shop. So you can imagine it was not a big store, and it was crowded in there. And over the years, the chairs got bigger, wider, deeper, and we had very little space available in that room. So we moved to a new space just 2 months ago. I've got a brief video we're going to be creating this week to post on our YouTube channel as an intro to the new store. But the new store is beautiful. We love it. It's made a big difference in terms of overall feel. The old store, we built it in 2008. We had 2008 decorum. We had brown shag carpet. We had everything is kind of brown and darker. And the newer stores have more of the colors that you see behind me. That style of store, a little brighter. We have laminate flooring now. By the way, a rug or carpet, maybe not rug, but carpet of any type for a high traffic store is not good. Boy, it gets dirty. And so we moved to the laminate flooring for all of our stores. And anyways, I'm going into this little history for you just so I can introduce myself to you if this is your first time coming to our store. So I've been in the business for over 21 years. Like I say, started as a website back in 2005. And now we have a store. Our second store was in Southern California. Our third store was in Arizona. And our fourth store, which we opened in 2022, it was in the Bay Area in Northern California. And so that is a little bit of the history of the store, the business, and this broadcast, which I started quite a few years ago. I think it was 2009 was when I actually started these broadcasts. At the very least, that's when we first started recording videos for the massage chair industry. And so we've been around for a while. Make yourself at home at our YouTube video or our YouTube channel, and you can watch videos till the cows come home. But and as you'll notice with my videos, I don't sell products. I talk about products and I educate you about products and what is available and what features I like about the chairs, what we maybe don't like about the chairs, a little bit about how to use the chairs. I used to do a lot more videos per chair model back in the day, but now we pretty much do three videos. We do an intro video, a first time use video, and an opinion video or a pros and cons video for every chair. And you can go back and learn about all those all those chairs that we've done videos for, a lot of them are discontinued over the years. But I've also done a ton of educational videos about the industry as a whole. And you can go watch our short videos on the YouTube channel or on any of our social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram or X, formerly known as Twitter. I've done a lot of educating, and you'll notice that I don't try to sell the chairs. I try to just educate our customers. And that's kind of been my mandate. As a chiropractor, I was big into the research courses that I took there, enjoyed that quite a bit. We were involved in a research project with Weber State University, and I've talked about this in the past, with Dr. Michael Olpin, who is a PhD, and his specialty is in stress management. And they have a stress clinic there at the Weber State campus. And we supplied chairs after we discussed doing a study, that he do a study, because he had the infrastructure to do a study. And he began doing studies about massage chairs and their efficacy for pain relief, stress relief, blood pressure. And the findings were, as he would put it, statistically significant, which means it's significant, basically significant enough to do a study about. And so I've talked in other videos, there have been other studies done since then that have addressed also the benefits of massage chairs. Not really massage per se, but massage chairs. There are studies about massage, the benefits of massage, but massage chairs, they're slim pickings in terms of legitimate, good quality studies about the massage chair benefits. So anyways, my spiel has always been education and trying to teach people about what it is that massage chairs do, what massage chairs model are, what the benefits are, things to be aware of, things to make sure that you don't get ripped off in terms of, return policies and warranties and online versus offline sales. There's a lot of things to be aware of, and we don't want you to get ripped off, whether you buy from us or not. Okay. Excuse me. I've had some lung issues lately, and my wife tells me that I sound like an old man now. Not just look like an old man. She says I sound like an old man now. But anyways, excuse me if I brought my water with me in case I think I'll take a sip now, but my voice goes a little bit quick and I start to get a little congestion in the lungs. Anyways, okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I went to Las Vegas for the furniture market. I regularly go to the furniture market. It's twice a year in Las Vegas. It's in January and July. And this year, I usually go in January because the weather's a little more forgiving then. But January, I was not able to go, and so July was the day. And had a wonderful time there. I really enjoy going there because I go to see my distributors and see what they have that's new. I typically go to the Consumer Electronics Show, the CES, which is also in Las Vegas, and that's also in January. And that isn't so much visiting with my distributors, but it is going to check out and see what's new in the industry and see if there's any other companies that have products that are worth checking out or worth carrying or worth selling. Excuse me. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the furniture market. It was very hot there. As a matter of fact, it was kind of reassuringly hot. I'm originally from Canada, and it's cold where I'm from. I'm from Edmonton, which is the northernmost big city in Edmonton, in Canada, and for that matter, North America. And it's cold in the wintertime. So when I get into the heat, I live in Utah, and I love the heat here, and it's very hot in the summer. Well, when I say very hot, I mean 90 to 100, and with regularity, and it's dry heat, so it's not abusive heat like it is when there's high humidity as well. My wife's from Houston, and when I first went to Houston to visit her family, it was 90 degrees out and 90% humidity, and it was almost unbearable for me. And I come from extreme cold, and now I was in extreme heat, and I found myself behaving the same way. I was always looking for a place to cool off, whereas in Canada, you're always looking for a place to warm up. We went to the hospital to visit her grandmother, who was on death's bed, and we pulled up to the hospital, and I was driving around the parking lot looking for the closest parking stall to the hospital, because I didn't want to be out in the heat and humidity for longer than I had to be. And that's the same thing we do in Canada. When I was in Edmonton, when we drive to the mall, we get to the closest door to the mall, and so we could run into the, and this was in the wintertime in Canada, but we'd run to the mall to stay warm. So, but anyways, I don't even know where I'm going with this, for heaven's sake. See, I'm losing my mind as well as everything else. But I was talking about Las Vegas, but the furniture market was the weather was great. It was hot, but I love it that way. And it was not as busy as it had been in years past. And I think we've noticed that a bit of a change in that department since COVID. And I don't know if everybody has fully come back yet. But anyways, there's also a furniture market in North Carolina. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. It's called the High Point Market in I think it's North Carolina. I believe North Carolina. If I said South Carolina, I believe I'm mistaken. Anyway, so I visited with Cozzia when I was there. We've been carrying Cozzia brands like Ogawa and JP Medics for years, but we've never carried Cozzia product because we had to have 4 of their models in our store to be able to carry the Cozzia name. And I've always liked the Cozzia brands. They're usually when Cozzia, the parent company, comes out with a new product, it goes through Cozzia first, and then they will branch off and make copycat versions for Ogawa and for JP Medics. So that's why you'll see chairs like the JP Medics Kumo and the old Cozzia Chi XE or Chi SE, and the bodies look the same. That's because the factories are the same. It's the same company, which is the umbrella company would be Cozzia, and the factory is called EasePal, or now I believe it's been changed to the Ogawa factory in China. One of the best factories in China, by the way. And they're not they don't just make Cozzia and Ogawa and JP Medics. They make chairs for Osaki. I've seen chairs for primarily Osaki. They have some of their chairs are built, like, for example, the old Admiral, which was a fantastic chair for many, many years, now been discontinued, but that was an EasePal chair as well. So there's a lot of crossbreeding between distributors, between factories and distributors. So, for example, the Rotai factory makes chairs for Infinity, for Osaki, for Human Touch, for Daiwa. And so you'll see the better companies making more chairs for the more reputable brands, the reputable distributor brands. So anyways, I was there and I visited with John Cribbs. He's the VP for Cozzia. And he is a fellow that I talk to intermittently year after year after year, talking about what they've got cooking with Cozzia and with the other brands. Anyways, I went to visit him at the furniture market, which I do every time I go. And they had they have a new model called the Quantum Regen. And it won't be out until October, maybe November, maybe December, but hopefully the fourth quarter. It is like the Osaki or the Cozzia Quantum, but with red light therapy, what they call near infrared therapy. And it also comes with a dual mech, another set of rollers. The Quantum is a split flex track, but it has one set of rollers that go up and down the back. It's a very popular chair for us. It's a very comfortable chair. The new Regen is also very comfortable, but because of the dual mech, it doesn't feel as smooth as the Quantum rollers because it's one roller that goes all the way down and back up again smoothly. The dual mech has rollers on the bottom and rollers on the top, and they kind of at some points they come close together, almost crisscrossing, and then they separate again. And I would say that it's not as smooth as the regular Quantum, but the dual mech is a nice add, and it has the infrared, or what they call near infrared heating. And infrared heating gives you light wavelengths that can penetrate deeper into the muscle. So it can give you the benefits of heat, not just superficially like pretty much all other chairs do, but now this infrared, and the new chair does have lights. You can see it. It looks pretty cool when it's on display. It's the same body as the Quantum, much of the same everything, except they added the second roller mechanism, and they added the lights. And so you now have this deeper heat. You don't really feel the heat, but it just the heat, the light wavelengths penetrate deeper, so you'll get the inner parts of the muscle will be a little bit more affected by the heat than just the superficial superficial layers. And that chair is going to retail for $13,999, whereas the Quantum is $11,999. So it's a $2,000 difference. Again, we expect to see that one in the fourth quarter. They have another chair coming out. It doesn't have a name yet, but it's called the Cozzia 660. Cozzia has they have numbers for their chairs. Like the Cozzia Quantum is the 800. The Cozzia Quantum Regen will be 810. The Cozzia 660 was a chair that they introduced, and this will also be coming out after the Quantum Regen, probably November, December. And this chair has also the infrared lighting, and it has a rocking feature like the old Inada chair. What was that one? Was that the Yumi? The Inada Yumi that has like a rocking feature, and we see that chair. This Cozzia 660 will have that gliding and rocking feature. It'll have a dual mech and a flex track, a split flex track, and a dual mechanism. In other words, two roller mechanisms like the Quantum Regen. But it's priced at $8,500, and so it's not going to probably have the same feature set because they didn't have all of it there. They had it there on display, but it didn't work. It was broken during shipping. It does have it'll have the infrared lighting, the dual mechanism, and the split track flex track. But it's priced less, so I suspect less features. Maybe some of the build quality will be a little bit less to justify the lower price. They also have some upgrades on the Svago recliner chairs that they sell. We have them on our website, and I get mixed up with the names and the numbers, so I'm not even going to go through them. But they've made some changes, like to the Motion Mastery chair, which is kind of their high-end recliner with airbag massage. And most of the chairs that we carry from this company and from like Human Touch are the recliner chairs with massage function. And the massage function is pretty much airbags and maybe some tapping from time to time. And then I visited the Osaki booth after I visited Cozzia. And they introduced a couple of new chairs. One's called the Osaki Milan, which retails for $24.99. It has an all leather upholstery, and it's pretty thick. It felt like a pretty thick, solid upholstery, but it's a chair that is. It's not like a regular massage chair. It has rollers going up and down your back, but it's more of just a recliner chair, kind of like what along the lines of what Cozzia and Human Touch have, but a different design of the chair. So it's like, and it has rollers instead of the airbags on the back. And that was a nice chair. I liked it. I think $24.99 seems to be a fair price for it. They had another chair there, and I can't remember what it was. I forgot to write it down in my notes, but it's another Osaki. It's a lower priced dual mech chair. But anyways, I'll learn more about that and share that at another time. Also, then we visited the Furniture for Life booth, and they have the new CoreWave chair, which we will be carrying. We don't have it on our website yet, but that chair has a high frequency vibration, not the sonic wave like the old Hugh-Tech Kai chair had, the GTS 9, but it's more like a real high speed vibration. And I understand that Furniture for Life will be coming out with a sonic wave chair in the future, maybe later this year or early next year. But wanted you to know that there are new models still coming out. Of course, some of them we will carry, some of them we won't. Some of them we will carry on our showroom, and some of them we won't. But there's always some innovation going on. We see a lot of recycling of the old ideas into new chairs with a different label. And so when I see a new chair model come out, I don't get too excited about it if it's just like all the other chairs. And in the same price range, but just come from a different factory or with a different name on it or a different company carrying it. We like to see things that are a little bit unique, a little bit different, and so that's my philosophy. So I don't get too excited. I've been doing this, like I say, for over 21 years, and you kind of see a lot of the same. And then when there's an innovation, Like when the L track first came out, or SL track, however you want to call it, when that first came out, that was a big deal. When the split track came out, and then the dual mechanism came out, those were big deals. Well, now every massage chair company has them, and so now we try to differentiate. And some of them have a markedly different feel. Some of them have a markedly different additional feature set, but not all of it matters. Like, for example, some people, it might have a negative Zion or a negative ion feature, which a lot of people don't care about. Like, I just give me a good deal. I just want the roller track. I just want the dual mech. I want the split track, or maybe aromatherapy. It sounds cool, and they look like neat features. Or chromotherapy, where the lights on the side of the chair. Maybe not huge game changers in my book. But hey, if they're throwing it in as an add-on, as a free add-on to a massage chair that you really like, take it. But I wouldn't make your decision solely based on whether a chair is carrying aromatherapy or not. If you don't like it, you can always turn a lot of that stuff off. But anyways, so that's what's going on at the furniture market. I also visit. Oh, I forgot to mention. I visited the Infinity massage chair booth, and I always do go there and visit them. I love the Infinity chairs. They're well built. They are packaged better than most any other chair for shipment, and so we get very few chairs that are damaged in shipment. And they're very secure. Well, they started a new line of chairs late last year, early this year. So they now have the Zanara, they have the Celebrity, they have the Sensation, they have the I know I'm going to miss one. They have the Silvana, and they have the Circadian Dual Flex. So they have a lot of new models, and so I wasn't expecting to see anything there. But they had a new chair called the Serenza. And I sat on it. It was a very nice chair. It had more of a fabric kind of upholstery as opposed to vinyl or what they call synthetic leather. And it was a nice chair as well. And I can't remember what the price point was of that. They kind of fit the different chairs in different price points, which we appreciate. And but that was the Serenza, and it had a strong massage. I just don't remember much about the feature set. And that's another thing. When you sit on a lot of chairs, sometimes they get a little, in Spanish, it's mezclado. It's like it gets mixed up. Like the features you get a little mixed up with the features when you're trying to differentiate the chairs. And even the look of them, many of them are very much the same. And so it can be extremely confusing. And that's why we encourage you to sit on a chair in person, maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe more, and maybe really make sure that chair is right for you. And anyways, but I get mixed up sometimes with all the different features. And I've sat on, over the years, my gosh, I've sat on hundreds and hundreds of chairs. But and a lot of them are very, very similar. A lot of them are very innovative and new and creative, and I really like that. Anyways, so enough of that. One thing I just thought I'd mention, and it makes me laugh a little bit because I've talked about 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, and I think I saw one chair that has 6D, and it was 8D. They called it 8D, and I thought, holy mackerel! I had trouble with 4 dimensions. We all know in the physics of our world, two dimension, 3 dimension are the main dimensions. The XY axis is a 2 dimension. The rollers go up and down and side to side, and then forward and back for depth. That's the Z axis of the physics model. Well, then 4D came out, and then I thought, oh my heavens, 4D. Is that just a name? And that applies to the rhythm, the speed changes of the rollers. But I don't know if that's really a dimension. Well, so I'm kind of up in the, I use 4D now because you buy into it because everybody's talking about it. Everybody uses it. So you kind of buy into it. And now 5D is out. And even 5D, there's not consensus. I thought there was until I went to the furniture market and I talked to John Cribbs, and they were talking about their 5D generation of roller mechanism. And it's a very unique roller mechanism as opposed to 5D being measuring, constant feedback on the roller mechanism, which scans your body during the entire program. That's what 5D means for others. So it's still not clear, but I heard someone also say, well, the 8D was a chair that had 8 rollers, which means, two sets of 4 roller balls. the upper track and the lower track. They called it 8D. And I don't even know what 8D means other than just a marketing term. And then someone, when I was in Vegas, I heard someone talk to me about a chair that has 5D. And I said, oh, do you have 5D? Well, yeah. I say, well, what kind of 5D is it? Is it the kind that measures the feedback of the rollers during the entire program so that the chair can intelligently change the tension on the rollers? No. Is it like a fifth generation, the 5D generation of rollers that like Cozzia has? No. I said, well, what does your 5D mean? Well, it means that our upper rollers have 3D and our lower rollers have 2D. So it's a total of 5D. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I'll tell you that. My wife will tell you that. My kids will tell you that. My mother will tell you that. But I went to 9 years of post-secondary education. And one thing they taught me, especially when it came to the sciences, was like critical thinking, right? Critical thinking. So critically, I understand 2D and 3D. I understand that critically thinking through that makes sense. The 4D didn't make a lot of sense. The 5D makes even less sense. I understand the technology and I like the technology, but calling it 5D doesn't make sense to me. And then to say, well, our 5D is adding the 3D and the 2D together. So now you have 5 dimensions. And remember, D means dimensions, 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions. Yes, I get that. 4th dimension is changing the speed. Is that really a 4th dimension, or is that just a 2D or a 3D dimension or 2 or 3 dimension D or 2 or 3 dimensions that where the rollers go in 2D and 3D motions, but the speed changes. I don't really think that's a dimension. I could be wrong. And I'm sure there's physicists on this that may listen to this and go, well, you know what, Dr. Weidner, the 5D really, or the 4D really is legit. But 5D, that's just, depending on who you talk to, it's more AI involved. It's the chair feeding off the tension that the rollers are feeling from the back of the person who's sitting on the chair, and then changing it, adapting it to the new user throughout the course of the program. But 5D is equal to 3D plus 2D. That's just addition. That's what we call addition. It's not dimensions. So beware out there. There's a lot of stuff out there that's sketchy, man. And it's marketing. It's all marketing. Oh, that chair has 5D, or that chair has 6D. We had a guy send us an email saying, I want to get a chair that has a dual mechanism, a split track, and I want 4D chair or more. And I'm thinking, do you even know what 4D is? And when you say more, do you mean like 5D? Like which 5D, and why do you want that? People are all of us, not just massage chair sharpers, all of us are gullible to the marketing vernacular that companies come up with to push their products. And I don't know a lot about the other products, but I know about massage chairs. Probably better than any other retailer, because I've been around so bloody long. And some of these things don't make sense to me. So if someone tells you they got an 8D chair, ask them, what do you mean by 8D? Well, it means we got 4 on the bottom and 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom. Oh, but are those 3D or 2D, or what D are those? I don't know. It's 8D. So be careful. Just be careful out there. Again, I'm educating you. Be careful. Don't get ripped off. Don't be falsely led down a path that you don't even have any idea what the vernacular is. Sit in chairs. See how they feel. Sit on them more than once or twice. See how they feel. Ask the salesperson if they can tell you a little bit about the rollers, about the the roller track, how many roller balls does this chair have? Can you adjust the intensity of the chair? Does it have a bottom rollers and top rollers? The minute you start throwing out 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, the salesman may not even understand it and will confuse you even more. So just ask in basic terminology. Does the chair have a set of rollers down here and a set of rollers up here? Does it have a flex track where the SL track can flex and bend so I can get a better stretch? Does it have does it have feedback body scan, or does it just body scan the shoulder where the shoulder and the head are? Those are the kinds of questions to ask, not just going in and throwing out a bunch of numbers. Hey, man, I want a chair with 40, maybe 5, even though I have no idea what 5D means. I want two roller mechanisms, maybe 3. There's no such thing as 3 back roller mechanisms, but whatever the spiel is out there, be leery of it. And yeah, just be careful. That's basically it. Buyer beware. That's the name of my one of my booklets that I've written called Buyer Beware. And in this industry, beware. That's all I can say. There's a lot of hucksterism out there, but it's a maturing industry, right? So in the beginning, you're going to see a lot of that, a lot of maybe misleading things, a lot of what I call hucksterisms, and to get the sale, maybe like snake oil kind of stuff. But the industry is maturing, and people are starting to call out garbage when they hear it. And the consumers are smart, way smarter than I ever was. And they can call out crap too, but they have to know what they're calling out. If they don't understand the terminology or understand what people are telling them, they can't call it out. So anyways, all right. Well, enough of that. I think I've probably yacked long enough, but thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, feel free to thumbs up, like us on our YouTube channel, and then help us spread the word about massage chairs by sharing this video or any of our videos with your friends and family through your social media platforms. And again, if you want to watch more videos, I just came out with 3 videos on the quantum. You can go to our YouTube channel and check out Massage Chair Relief. YouTube.com/massage chair relief, and you'll be able to see all of our videos there. And you don't need to watch them all, of course not, but the relevant ones are there for you. Anyways, hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.